A new feature in version 13 of Belt Analyst is called Case Manager. You'll see up here in the toolbar is a new feature. You can move that around in the toolbar called Case Manager. If you choose not to use Case Manager in the program, and you can just leave this here, and you don't have to do anything with it, and the program will still work just like the whole program does. Anytime you open up a file or start with a new file or open up somebody else's file, you'll see a base case, and that is the typically the fully loaded conveyor case, although that could be anything you want, but typically we want that to be the typical case, or the most common case that you're going to be running in this particular conveyor. In this case, you see a conveyor. In this example, you see a conveyor with head-tail drive, and it's got up and downs in it, and we'll use that as our example here. So as you can see from the tabs, we've gone through this already and selected a bunch of components for this fully loaded case. See the tension diagram for our example. Now you'll also note that this may not be the worst case. In the past, you had to save this as your fully loaded case and then work on another one. Now, instead of having to work on a new file, we can simply hit the drop-down button for Case Manager and say, let's look at an empty conveyor. And we can name this whatever we want, but I'll call this an empty condition. You'll see that pops up, and the belt is now empty. And I'll take the load off of it here as well, and we can see here the tension diagram's changed. All of our calculations have been updated for an empty conveyor. You will note one difference here. Some of the boxes have a yellow background in them, and if we look at some of the other tabs, we'll see yellow backgrounds and things. Anything with a yellow background in it means that is a case variable, which can be different between cases. Obviously, in this case, the load in our base case is 8,000 tons per hour, and our load in our empty case is 0 or empty. Anything that's got the white background will change in all cases. If we change the belt width or the belt speed, for instance, those things will change for all cases. So you can do your editing of any of your components or any of your characteristics in any of these cases. It will update all the cases accordingly. So both of these cases are black, appear to be in good shape in our design. So now let's go look at maybe some worst cases, which is inclines loaded only. And now we can see that we've automatically loaded up inclines loaded only, and we've got a few things that have turned red, particularly the take up and the belt. So we might want to make sure that we do have everything properly designed for this condition. So we'll just go to the take up tab and we'll reset the take up. Actually, we have to we can't use the auto button here. We have to manually make these changes in Case Manager to get our take up properly set, and so I'm going to actually set it here at about 400 kilonewtons for this particular case. And you can see here that we definitely have a belt problem, and so we'll go in here and so also select a new belt. See if we can get the belt properly selected for this case, and we'll just stop there. We won't go any farther at this point. You can see our other two cases are okay, and we do have some pulley issues here with this case, and I'm going to go ahead and auto set all the pulley diameters for this particular case so that we don't have to worry about that anymore. And so we have a set of conditions here that satisfies our fully loaded case, our empty case, and our inclines loaded case. We might want to look at declines loaded only, which would be another interesting condition to look at. And you can see here some things again have gone red. For instance, the take up, breaking slip. You can see that in the tension diagram, so it indicates our take up needs to be higher. We'll set it at 660 kilonewtons here to see if we can get rid of our slip condition. Needs to be a little bit more. And of course, when we set our take up higher, we got rid of the problem here, but we did again have a belt problem. So we might have to select a little bit bigger belt, take care of that tension problem. And you can see here that we have some local tension problems there. I'm going to go back here to the base case to see if I can set my belt up properly for this condition. There you can see I got the belt right. I'm going to see what the problem is here with I got another pulley diameter problem. I'll reset the pulley diameters, and maybe I need to actually reset that pulley manually. Got everything black or gray in my base case. In my empty case, my incline's loaded. So the only problem now that I have is during the declines loaded only case, and I've got a couple of local stresses here in the transition, the tail transition, that appears to be off, and I can go through and adjust my transition lengths at this point if I like. I've got some pulley diameter issues again here that I can decide that I want to design for or I don't want to design for, because this is an unusual condition, but I've got that choice to make. So very quickly, the case manager gives you the opportunity here to do what used to be done in 4 or more files. We can look at overload conditions, we can look at winter, summer conditions, we can look at inclines, declines loaded, any type of custom condition that you might want to look at. Let's say we have overload, or let's call it a peak loading condition, which our client is interested in, and that peak loading condition might be get that right, might be a 9,000 tons per hour condition. What we want to look at, and you can see here we can really quickly look and see what that does to us, and reduces our safety factors just slightly below where we'd like to be. And you notice that I actually did that wrong. I want my base condition to stay at 8,000, and I want my peak loading condition to be 9,000. And so I can see my base condition still good. My decline's loaded only. I have a couple issues here, stresses being off, and my peak loading condition, you can see here very quickly I'm exceeding my belt stresses. So I can make a decision here to go to a higher belt or not, depending on whether this is a condition I'd just like to make sure I look at and understand, or whether I want to design for this and get my safety factors accordingly. So when you save this file now, all these conditions will be saved, and when you bring the file back up, you'll have them all there.